Hey there, welcome back to Surviving Minecraft. Since the last episode, I have gone out, I made some shears, and then I went and sheared some sheep, and I crafted a bed. So if you don't know, you can just right-click a sheep to shear it. And then also, I mined a little bit, and I got 3 more diamonds, so we'll be able to make a diamond pickaxe now. But before we do that, I collected a lot of seeds, because I built this little farm over here. So basically, what this farm is, so it's each one of these is in a 9x9 area with a hole in the middle for water, and so it's going to be a wheat farm. So I got a bunch of wheat seeds. There's a plains biome right over there. So there was a ton of grass. I just broke it and got this. It's not enough to fill the entire thing, but you get seeds from farming, so I'll be able to fill it all the way up once I farm for long enough. So I'll just till the entire thing. Alrighty, there we go. So now I did that, and I will plant all of the wheat seeds that I have. There we go. Now before too long, these will grow, and then we can just break it and get seeds in wheat. And I will use the wheat for a farm in a later episode. So basically, water hydrates the land, or the farm here, 4 blocks away from the source right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you see there? So that's why it's turning darker brown, because it's hydrated, which means it won't just break. Alright, now that we've got the farm out of the way, I'm going to craft myself a diamond pickaxe. There we go. Now I'm going to mine 14 pieces of obsidian. So 10 will be for a nether portal, and 4 will be for an enchantment table. So what I like to do is just dig 1 block down here and place some water here, and then I can break this. And there we go, it'll just flow over, and if these were lava sources, they would turn into obsidian too. There we go, I got 14 pieces of obsidian, so I will just go ahead and put 4 pieces in here with the stone. So that's for the enchantment table later on. Alright, now what I'm going to do is just put the nether portal back here. It's going to be moved in the future since this is still just a temporary base, but that's fine. Alright, so if you didn't know, you just build a portal, you can place 2 blocks here, 3 blocks there, 2 more there, and then 3 more right there. So it's a 2x3 inside area here. And now we need to get flint and steel. So you have to get flint, you can get that by breaking gravel. And then you just take flint and a piece of iron, and there we go, flint and steel. Now just right click on the portal, and there you go. Alright, so now we can just walk into the lit portal, and we will start teleporting. We get like a wavy nausea effect. And there we go, we need to go deeper. So let's see what we have here. It takes a second to loading, because it's loading a brand new dimension. These are called zombified piglins, and when you kill them, they will drop a couple different items. They'll drop gold swords, gold nuggets, and occasionally gold ingots, although that's pretty rare. So there's a lot of lava around. So what I like to do is make sure I remember the coordinates of my portal. So I'll just take that and put it into my text file. Alright, so now you'll see that this guy, he is trying to attack me. So this is just a regular piglin. And he tries to attack me because I don't have any gold armor, and they are big fans of gold. So if you're wearing gold armor, they will be passive towards you, but otherwise they will attack you. So you see this one has a crossbow, other ones have swords. So yeah, they're not too difficult to get around, but I'll just kill them for now because I don't need them, and more will spawn back if I need them later. Alright, so what I'm going to do is try to find a nether fortress. So there's some complicated stuff that goes on with nether fortress spawning. Basically, there's different quadrants, and so you can see that I am negative and positive right here. So I want to keep heading where the negative value will go up and the positive one will go up, because that's one of the quadrants. I could also go negative negative, negative or positive negative, or positive positive for different quadrants. Okay, so I just kept exploring in this direction just a little bit, and I found a different biome. So this is called the Soul Sand Valley. So basically, there's two different mobs that spawn here. There's skeletons, and then there's also another mob called a ghast, which is, it's like this big, flying, terrifying thing. So I'm not a big fan of these biomes, so I'm going to head back and I like this nether waste biome because that seems to be the best for finding fortresses. So I'm going to just go a different direction to get into a different quadrant to try to find a fortress there. Alright, so I started going in a different direction, and now I found this other biome. So this is the Crimson Forest biome. So basically, these are basically nether trees that spawn in the Crimson Forest biome, and then there's a different type of it that spawns in the Wart Forest biome. So these are wood that can't be used for any smelting things because they don't catch on fire or anything. They aren't flammable. And then there is also another mob that spawns here. It's called the Hoglin, and that is a very useful mob. So I will look for one to show you. Alright, here we are. So this is a Hoglin. So they are pretty powerful. If they hit you, they will do a lot of damage. So what I normally do, if you tower up 3 blocks, they can't hit you. And then you can hit them a couple of times. Alright? And then catch them on fire. And then hit them again. And there we go. Now they're dead. And so you can see they drop pork chops, and they will also drop leather. So these are... Hoglins are very special because they drop cooked pork chops. Hoglins are very special because they drop both pork chops and leather. To get pork chops, you normally will have to kill a pig, and for leather, you have to kill a horse or a cow. But Hoglins, they are hostile mobs, so they will spawn much more commonly than passive mobs, because that's the way Minecraft works. So it's fairly easy to create a Hoglin farm and get a lot of otherwise fairly rare materials, which would be cooked pork chops and leather. Another thing I want to talk about is this quartz. So quartz is very special. It's used for a couple of different redstone components, and then it is also used as a building block because you can make a quartz block. And it's really common in the nether, and it gives you a lot of XP. So this is probably a pretty good source of early game XP. We will be building XP farms later on in the series. But right now, quartz will be how I get most of my XP. Another ore that spawns in the nether is this nether gold ore. And if you break it, you get some gold nuggets. And 9 gold nuggets will equal 1 gold ingot. So I'm going to mine a couple of these and then make myself a gold piece of armor so the piglins don't attack me anymore. There we go, I made myself some gold boots, which aren't quite as good as iron boots, but they're close, and now the piglins won't attack me. By the way, make sure you don't mine any of this gold ore when there's piglins around, because that will aggravate them towards you, even if you have gold armor on. Alright, so I still haven't found a fortress yet, but I have found, it's called a piglin bastion. So I am going to save the coordinates of this because I'm not quite ready to deal with that or explain it. What's more important is a fortress. Alright, so here's the ghast I was talking about earlier. So you can see it's just this big white block, and it will shoot fireballs at you. So to kill them, you can hit them back, or use a bow, or if they get close enough to you, could hit them. But normally you kill them with some sort of ranged attack. Alright, so I wasn't recording, but I just hit a fireball back to him, and I got an achievement, Return to Sender. And so now we can go see what the ghast dropped. Alright, so the ghast, it didn't drop a ghast tier. It did drop gunpowder, but I'll go over a ghast tier once I get one. Alright, so I finally found a fortress. I had to go very far, and I actually had to go into a Soul Sand Valley to find it, but there it is. So unfortunately, in a Soul Sand Valley, there is a lot of mobs that can spawn in fortresses compared to other biomes because of the very low spawn rate of skeletons and ghast here. It makes the mobs in the fortress spawn more, so it's a lot more dangerous. Alright, so here we are at the fortress. So the two primary mobs that you will find in a fortress, there's the blaze and the wither skeleton. So the blaze is the most important because you need to kill blazes to get blaze rods, which you will use to get to the end. Alright, so here is a room in the fortress. So fortresses, They can be pretty big. There's also piglins and zombified piglins and stuff that spawn here, but here we go, a blaze spawner. So that is a monster spawner, which will spawn mobs around it every 15 seconds or so. This one is for blazes. So you can see they'll shoot at me, I can block with my shield, but sometimes they'll create fire, and that can catch you on fire even with your shield. So something I like to do is go up to here and then stand against the fence, and then you can't catch fire because the ground can't catch on fire because the fence is here. So now I can just kill the blazes here. There we go. Couple of them down. So I'll probably grab 8 or so blaze rods. That should be enough for a while. And I will make sure to write down the coordinates to the fortress so I can come back here. The other mob that is special to fortresses are the wither skeletons here. So these guys are pretty dangerous, but they are also very helpful for more late game things, which I won't be going into now. But if they hit you, you get this wither effect, which will just slowly make you lose health. And I'm going to try not to die here. Alright, so as you saw, my health was just going down, and it can last for a while, so it's good to always have food. Yeah, these guys are pretty dangerous. Shields are very helpful. Another thing you can find in fortresses are these chests, and sometimes they can have pretty good loot in them, like horse armor and saddles, which can be very useful. Alright, the final thing I'm going to show for the fortresses is this nether wart. So now this is basically, it's like a type of plant, like the seeds for the wheat seeds that we're planting earlier. So it can be planted on soul sand and grown, and this is an ingredient that's necessary for brewing potions. Alright, so I went through my nether portal, which is something I should have tried before, because it actually spawned in a random location. Because in the nether, 1 block you travel is 8 blocks in the overworld. And when you generate a portal, it doesn't spawn exactly to the same location in the overworld. So sometimes you can get mixed up and generate you a new portal. So I'm going to have to figure out where I am and fix this. Alright, so I made it back to my house, and so what I'm going to have to do is get the coordinates here in the overworld, and then transfer them into nether coordinates, and then rebuild my portal in the nether to the same location in the overworld. Alright, so I rebuilt my portal in the nether, which unfortunately means I did have to mine 10 more obsidian from my old portal, but that's not a big deal. And there we go, now it links up properly to my base, and we're ready to go. Alright, so now I'll just go over some of the new items that we saw today. Some were exclusive to the nether, others were not. So we got nether wart, so this is going to be used for brewing potions, and I will build a farm with that sometime. Blaze rods, I got 7 of them. So that's used for Eyes of Ender, and then it's also used to make a brewing stand for brewing potions. We also got a saddle and horse armor, so these are for riding horses, and you can also ride a pig with the saddle. I got soul sand, which spawns in the nether in random places, and obviously in Soul Sand Valley. And netherrack, and this is the most common thing that you find in the nether, the most common item. It just spawns all over the nether. Alright, now, for the next thing we're going to do, you need to find an ocean. So you can just explore around until you find an ocean here. So what we are looking for is these things right here. So this is called kelp. We're not going to use it for food, but it can be used for food. It's a great thing to farm because you can smelt it and make an XP farm out of it. But basically, we are going to be using it for improving our water elevator thing at our mine shaft. Alright, so now we are going to improve this, so let's just take the water from here, and we'll move it right down there. We can place that block back. So you're going to need 2 signs, and some kelp, and then you also need a piece of soul sand. So if I just drop down here into the mine, I can place the signs there and there. There we go. And now I'm going to take the kelp and place it down, and place it all the way back up until we get to the top. Now the reason I'm doing this is because it will turn all of the water into source blocks instead of flowing water, which will allow us to make a water elevator with it. Alright, so now that you've done that, you can take your piece of soul sand and place it here at the bottom, and now, if you wait a second, it pushes you upward very fast. So now you're going to be able to get up a lot faster from your mine. Alright, so that's all for today. There's still a lot more stuff in the Nether that I haven't showed you yet, which I will do in a future video. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.